This is what President Trump has said. He says he has great relations with Xi Jinping and he hopes that China will also cooperate. But look at what China has said. After the big threat from Trump, in fact, China has vowed countermeasures, says that we will counter if the United States imposes more tariff. So let's get you what China is saying. This is Global Times, the mouthpiece of China, and it says the countermeasures China has taken are aimed at safeguarding its sovereignty, security and development interests and maintaining the normal international trade order. So this is the accusation that is coming from countries across the world, that it is going to change the global trade order. So Global Times going on to call it completely legitimate. The spokesperson says the US threat to escalate tariffs on China is a mistake on top of a mistake. So they've said that tariff has already been imposed, and now if counter tariffs are going to come in from the United States, is going to be a mistake upon mistake, which once again exposes the US's blackmail nature. So China going on to call it blackmail, says China will never accept this. If the United States insists on its own way, China will fight to the end. What could this mean? Senior consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary joins us on the broadcast. But before that, let me also get you what the India perspective is going to be. There are a lot of concerns in the country as well. The tariffs have taken the markets on shock. In fact, the focus is on the early talks that are currently underway. So External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar and the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio have agreed on the need for early conclusion of the proposed India-US bilateral trade. So let's get you the update on the Indian side as well, as fears continue across the globe of a global recession and the global trade order being affected because of these changes from the United States. Let's get you the India perspective. What is India doing on the same? Because Sensex as well has seen a huge dip and it's expected to continue today as well. As we get you that update, let's tell you what Dr. Jaishankar has said. Good to speak with Secretary Rubio today, exchange perspectives on the Indo-Pacific, the India subcontinent, Europe, Middle East, West Asia and the Caribbean, agreed on the importance of the early conclusion of the bilateral trade agreement. And this is the most important bit, where he goes on to say that we have agreed on the importance of the early conclusion of the bilateral trade agreement. Look forward to remaining in touch. So there are a lot of expectations that India, in talks with the United States, will be able to come up with an agreement that is going to ensure that there will be some assurances. Let me take in senior consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary, who's on the broadcast with us. Srinjoy, there are a lot of concerns across the globe. We are seeing a lot of bloodbath in markets across the globe, in the United States as well. While President Trump has assured there's not going to be any changes, asking Americans not to panic, we're seeing absolute panic in markets across the globe. Dr. Jaishankar, though, has given an update that India and the United States are going to agree on the need for an early conclusion of the proposed India-US bilateral trade deal. What can be expected?
Dalal Street has been affected. There's absolutely no doubt about it. It went down 3,000 points yesterday, and we don't know how it's going to work out today. Will there be a further drop? That is really the question. Now, as far as India is concerned, yes, Indian exports to America will be hit. There is absolutely no doubt about it. In certain sectors like gems and jewelry and so on, there will be a stronger hit. Now, that said, the one thing that India can look forward to is the fact that, yes, both sides want a trade deal. Now, if that trade deal happens, and this is something India has been saying for a long time, even when Prime Minister Modi was there in America, the point India made was, look, we have done the needful. This is what we told America. We've done the needful. We've reduced tariffs on the motorcycle, Harley Davidson, on bourbon whiskey, one or two other things. So this is a sign of our intent. Now, India said two things. Let's work towards the deal, which of course is happening, and let's keep this below radar. Now, you don't expect anything to be below radar with President Trump. So the second part, of course, is not below radar, and there is a need for further conversation. But if the deal does happen in these 8-9 months, perhaps towards the end of the year, then all this would just be a dark cloud temporarily. because once the trade deal happens, you would expect an easier situation. So people can actually look forward to something. Investors can look forward to something, which is the trade deal. And perhaps, therefore, there would be less of a bloodbath.
Okay, there's some assurance that has come in that it could be likely that the trade talks with the United States will go on smoothly. Stay with us. We have more breaking updates coming in.